All right, well, first off, do you offer health insurance to your people?
We do.
All right, and what are the deductibles right now for an individual and a family?
Right now it's a $1,500 individual and a $3,000 family.
All righty, and looking back over the last 3 to 5 years, what changes have occurred in that time period to get you to here?
Well, as you know, these benefits, it's been a nightmare as a business owner.
Yeah.
I hate benefits.
Yeah.
But we started out at a couple $100, 6, 7 years ago. Every
Okay.
year it's been, either your deductible goes up or they want to raise your rates, so to keep it affordable for the employees, we've just been raising the deductible, trying to keep their price in line with the budget.
How have your employees perceived those changes?
As you would expect, they're not happy about it, but that's just the way it is. Moving forward, it's either that or nothing.
Fair enough, and as you look out over the next 3 to 5 years, do you anticipate that further changes here might be necessary?
I couldn't really tell you, but based on the trend, probably.
Okay, fair enough. Do you offer any kind of a disability or income replacement type program to your employees right now?
We do have a long-term disability plan,
Okay, and when does that start?
6 months.
6 months out. Nothing in the short term?
No.
Okay. Fair enough. What are the kinds of benefits do you offer? Do you offer life insurance?
No life.
Okay. How about dental or vision?
We do have a Delta dental plan.
Okay. Vision?
No vision plan.
Fair enough. As you look into your employee base, first off, how many employees do you have right now?
We got 35.
35. And demographically, how are they set up? Young, old, male, female, anything identifiable?
Mostly late 20s, early 40s, kind of that range right there. We have one woman. They're all guys.
Mostly guys?
Mostly guys in the shop. So.
Late 20s, early 30s.
Yep.
Fair enough. As you look back over, say, the last 5 years, what kind of experience have you seen with your health insurance? Have you seen claims?
Yeah, we've had a few claims.
Okay.
Some of the younger guys got married, had kids, things like that. So, not a whole lot of real, major things. They're just your typical small things going on.
Okay.
Starting families, things like that.
Well, fair enough. Thank you. Thank you for that information. That's going to help me as we go along. I appreciate you sharing some of that information with me. I'm just going to utilize this little tool here to kind of keep me on track, if that's okay. And let's talk about your business just for a moment. Go down here to this triangle, which would represent your business. What we're seeing with business owners, and you can probably confirm this in your own business, is that we have a limited amount of resources to utilize in our business. And one of the main stressors on those resources are going to be the benefits that you offer your employees. And as the costs of those benefits continue to go up and higher and higher and higher, we have to do something to manage that or it'll crush our business. Correct?
I agree with that.
We agree with that? The 3 things that we see most employers doing to manage those resources, at least when it comes to benefits, are these 3 things. Number 1 would be plan design change. You've experienced that in the last few years,
yeah.
Where you've raised these deductibles and had to move those, and looking out over the next 3 to 5, we may have to do that again. We're not at the beginning of that trend. I don't think we're at the end of that trend. Can we agree that we're somewhere in the middle of that process?
Yes, it's a never-ending trend.
Fair enough. Cost sharing is another one where you may ask the individual to bear a larger portion of the premium, and we see business owners getting rid of benefits completely, something that they've offered and they have to let go of it. So what happens as we do any one of these 3 things is that we're shifting risk to that employee that they did not previously have, correct?
Yes.
And as unwilling as we may be to do that, to keep these resources in check, we have to. And the form that this risk takes for the employee would be uncovered medical expenses, loss of income, with the absence of a short-term disability policy here. That could be trouble for short-term issues. And lifestyle expenses that your employees make that would perhaps not be covered. So that's what's happening out there, and we're somewhere in the middle of that trend, and sadly, let's say it that way, you're managing that the same as all the rest of the businesses that we work with are, and we're shifting that risk to the employees. So let's come back up here for a moment to the 7 and 3. You're probably wondering what that's all about.
Yeah.
Lots of independent studies out there being done on the state of the American work and the American economy, and they indicate that approximately 70%, or 7 out of 10, of Americans are living paycheck to paycheck today. Now, you know your workforce better than anyone. As you look into your workforce of 35 employees or so, what percentage of your workforce would you say are living more or less paycheck to paycheck?
more than that.
All right, so instead of 7 out of 10, what would you say, 8 out of 10, 9 out of 10?
I'd probably say 9. These guys get their paycheck and they're off to the races.
Fair enough. Okay. Well, let me just take a moment and recap what we've talked about here.
Okay.
Okay? We've got approximately 90% of your workforce that are living paycheck to paycheck. So I'm telling you, I talk with my hands. Let me use a little analogy of the family budget with income on one side, expenses on the other. So we're trying to balance income and expenses. So at 100% of their paycheck, with nothing strange going on in their life, 9 out of 10 of your employees barely have this thing managed. Okay? Now, let's take Joe Smith, who falls out of his tree stand when he's hunting at this time of year and breaks his legs. And now he can't work for 2 months, and he's got, $1,500 in medical bills. So when things are normal, at 100% of his paycheck and nothing crazy going on, he's barely getting by. Now he's lost his income for 2 months, and he's got that $1,500. A lot less coming in than going out. Where's he going to get that money? How's that going to impact him and his family?
Well, I can tell you Joe's probably going to come to me.
Okay.
But that's a risk they take.
Well, let me ask you this. If you, as the business owner, could provide your employees with some options and choices that would directly address that financial hardship in a meaningful way, and it didn't cost you anything to offer that, is there any reason you wouldn't want to look at that?
Yeah, I'd be interested in looking at something like that. It doesn't cost me anything.
No. Second question. If we educated your employees about those options that you're making available to them and how those options could impact that financial scenario, and you had 3 or more of your employees that wanted to take advantage of those things, do you have the framework in place and the willingness to offer them a payroll deduction to do that?
Yeah, we payroll deduct our uniforms and health insurance, so yeah, that's not a problem.
Okay, fair enough. Then let's talk about education, because the most important service I can provide you as a business owner is to educate your employees about those options you're interested in bringing to them to address that financial hardship. There's 2 ways businesses do this.
Okay.
First way is in a group meeting. Get it all out at once, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, people ask questions. Great. We follow that up with one-on-ones where we can address privacy concerns and help people elect what they might want to participate in. The other way is to not do the group, but just to do the simple one-on-ones. And those would be maybe 20 to 30 minutes per person, which we're certainly willing to invest to help educate them properly about what you're offering them. Which of those 2 ways do you think would work best for your business?
Well, I don't really like to have group meetings. Guys are on deadlines out in the shop, and you got materials and things to push out. We could probably, one-on-ones would be best.
Okay.
Yeah.
A lot of times in an organization like yours, that is the best because you've only ever got one person out of circulation at a time.
Right.
So we're more than happy to come in and provide that education for your people. What's a good time to come in and get that started? What's the worst week of the month for you? We got a month ahead of us here. We're in the early part of the month.
End of the month is probably the worst because we're pushing out production. Probably first week of the month is best.
Okay, fair enough. We've missed October. Shall we look at the first week in November?
Yeah, well, we do that.
All right, let's get out the calendar and pick the dates.
Okay, sounds good. Awesome job, man.
Thank you. So that would be trying to close it on the first go-around.